Am I the asshole inviting my parents to my house after they didn't respond to my fiance's medical emergency? My fiancée, Allie, 31 female, is the type of person that calls people 2 or 3 times in a row when she wants to get a hold of them for anything. The first time she did this to my parents, we were driving to a concert and I asked her to call my folks from my phone. She called. They didn't pick up. She started calling my mom again right away and I asked what she was doing. My mom picked up right away, worried. Allie asked our question. I told mom, false alarm, hung up. She asked why my mom had been irritated, and I explained to her in my family, we only call twice in a row if it's an emergency. Allie has never followed this and will always call them repeatedly for the most mundane stuff. If one doesn't answer, she'll sometimes call my other parent. All that to say, a couple of weeks ago, she broke her leg while working around the house. I was in a workshop for work that day and could only check my phone on breaks. She called my parents since they live a couple streets over, but neither answered their phones. She wound up having to call an ambulance. I got her message about 2 hours after she fell and went to the hospital. She was pretty mad at my parents when I got there. I let them know what happened, and they also rushed to the hospital to apologize and check on her. She didn't want them coming in, so they sat outside for a bit, got her flowers from the gift shop, and eventually went home. I took some time off work to take care of her, and my parents have been offering help as they could. Her sister drove in to help, so I could go back to work. Last night, I decided to make a nicer dinner than usual and wanted to invite my parents. I gave her a heads up. I was inviting them and asked if she wanted me to rearrange some of the chairs and table so we can all eat together. She got mad. I wanted to invite them and is of the mind I shouldn't be wanting to see/speak with them after they ignored her. Her sister agrees with her and feels I'm putting my parents over my soon-to-be wife. Up until this point, I haven't said anything to her about the situation, but I did then and told her it was a massive up in communication on everyone's part, and time we all talk it out to put behind us. Neither she nor her sister think she should stop being mad at them. Was I an asshole to invite my parents over? Asked info. My parents were sitting outside for their quiet time when she called. It's not unusual for them to not answer calls, texts, and wait to return them later when they do that. I myself had to do the 2 calls routine, so they knew it was urgent. Info. How many calls did Allie make to your parents before calling the ambulance? More than the usual multiple calls. Did she at any point text them to say it was truly an emergency? Edited to add judgment, not the asshole. Allie made the usual number of calls that she does for any occasion and didn't text to let them know this was actually an emergency. OP certainly does not need to cut his parents off over this. 3 times for my mom, then 2 times for my dad, which sadly is normal for her. She didn't send them a text. This is her own damn fault then. Send a text, it is 2024, or even leave a voicemail. If I've called you and can't get a hold of you, then I leave a message. Who just calls a person on repeat until they pick up and never leaves a message? Not the asshole. You explained the communication norms in your family after the first time she double called. She didn't listen. And so your parents had no way to know it was an emergency instead of just another Tuesday. Your description of a massive miscommunication sounds accurate, and talking it through would be the next right move. Does she have an explanation for how they should have known? Or is she assuming that when she wants to get a hold of someone, they should drop everything and talk to her, whether or not it's urgent? Because the latter isn't respecting other people's time and priorities. Do none of these people text? WTF is going on here? Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.